music no one can ever refuse it. Pulsating, vibrating, reggae, reggae, reggae. Very sky, rock, steady, mental, a quadrillion, a cool minute.
Good morning to the listeners and viewers of the Real Stuff podcast. Today is Wednesday, and we have a featured guest, Samuel Garden, aka Kindred, a poet and a wellness guide. So today he's going to talk to us about self-healing and the specific art of what?
Paidalagin.
Paidalagin. And it's an ancient Chinese art of self-healing. So good morning, Kindred.
Give thanks, my brother. Give thanks.
Yes.
All right.
So,
Go ahead.
yeah. So just to talk to you a little bit. First, I just want to introduce our co-host Flavius. Flavius.
Morning.
Blessings, Flavius. Pleasure to meet
Yeah,
you.
man. Very good to have you, sir. Very good to have you in the house.
Give thanks.
And you get, all this information that you're going to be putting out to us, I know people will love it. People need to know these things.
Definitely.
Carry on, Courtney.
Yeah. So just reintroduce yourself to the audience again. Tell who is Kindred.
Um, Kindred is a multi-skilled, multi-dimensional being, I've lived many lives. I have a lot of experience in the corporate world. I also have been a poet. I've been a business person. I'm a trained teacher in language, literature, and linguistics, etc. However, I've also been a journalist at points in my life, and I used to be an investigative journalist as well. And this self-healing mission is one that I tend to describe as the biggest story that I've ever encountered. One that I think is worthy of sharing with people over and over again. So just as Flavia said, this message of self-awareness and our ability to self-heal is incredibly pertinent at this time. It has always been pertinent. It sounds ridiculous to some of us who are convinced that uh, the medical way has our best interest at heart, and maybe many of its practitioners do, but the systemic approach, varies from a lot of traditional practices around the world. Now we want to acknowledge and honor doctors for their ability to give us diagnosis, for their ability to assist us with emergencies. But we can also assist the doctors as well by playing a greater part in our healthcare. Now, let me start by asking you, Courtney, how is your health? Do you have any pains that you live with that you have normalized and accepted as a part of growing older?
Yeah. Well, frankly, I have to say yes, because sometimes the body, while aging, the body you get pains all about in your body. Like I'll get pains in my shoulder, in my hips, in my knees.
Right.
And because growing up I was an avid soccer player, so
Okay.
sometimes you think that it's a result of those activities.
Right. Flavius, you mind
Yeah,
telling me how you are in terms of pain and or disease?
yeah, man, same thing. Yeah, we have a certain amount, normal ones that most Jamaicans have. And of course, all those knocks you get from in sports and otherwise, some of them still lingers. Yes.
Right. Okay. Well, this practice has two nicknames. One is called pain medicine, and I will explain why. And the other is called old wounds. It was used by Chinese warriors after battle to clear themselves of blockages related
Okay.
to different wounds. And of course, they're fighting with swords and knives. So the things that we are experiencing are very, very easy to fix, right?
Okay.
So let me tell you a little.
Before you go forward, let me just give you an experience I had with a
Yes.
Chinese doctor.
Yes.
I met him in Barbados, and he says he's a what do you call it now? He's a regular doctor.
Right.
I mean, he went to his university and know all the things that these doctors know, but he's also a Chinese doctor.
Hmm.
And when I went to him, he did not use anything to he didn't put anything in my body to hear how my heart sound or whatever.
Right.
He didn't put on a machine to check my blood pressure or anything like that.
Right.
All he did is he put his fingers, I think 2 fingers on my what do you call it now? On my
On your
wrist.
wrist.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the
Hmm.
pulse.
Hmm.
And he's there writing
Yes.
and telling me everything that's happening in my body.
Yes.
Just from that.
The Chinese take a different approach to diagnosis.
Yes.
Their approach is holistic. So, for example, how you speak, if you speak softly, if you speak loudly, your posture, just every single thing, your way of life, every single thing is taken into account. And they're looking at the balance of energy in your body, the balance between cold and heat,
Yeah.
fundamentally, and that is what is described as yin and yang energy. Yes.
Oh yes.
So when we have these blockages, when we have these pains in different parts of our body, we have, generally speaking, an excess of yin. Yin is cold, and that is coagulation, and it contracts and it creates blockages. So what's really happening
Okay.
with your joints right now and your body right now is that we, through physical trauma, as you both mentioned, you've experienced, through chemical trauma, which we may all experience as well through many different forms, and through negative thinking. This is how blockages accumulate in the body, right? Before we even go into techniques about how to clear it, we need to also understand how we can reduce the the creation of these blockages in the body, and it comes through the mindset. Now, there is a concept called epigenetics. It's a science about, it's also called the biology of belief. And it's looking at faith healing. It's looking at persons who go to the doctor and are told they have 3 days to live and live 30 years instead. It's looking at people who have, you know, just believed and or gone to some traditional healer through different mediums, and the lump is now gone, kind of thing. And what is really happening is that we have stem cells. In this conversation, many of our cells have died. Let's say 1,000,000 cells have died, and in that time, 1,000,000 cells have been reborn. And these cells, when they are born, bear no particular feature to any particular cell in the body. They're embryonic cells, they're stem cells. And when these cells are placed with blood, bone, or fat and have been in experiment, they completely take on the genetic makeup of blood, bone, or fat. So we have something in our body that could go in and replace any part of the body that needs replacement. Why isn't this happening regularly? Why is this seen as some freak occurrence when, you know, these things happen in a medical situation? What's happening is that there is something called placebo thinking, and this is what is employed when the doctor uses what many people know of as the placebo effect. For those who don't know, the placebo effect is the effect given when the doctor prescribes for you one of the over 1/3 of all medicine. So over 1/3 of all medicine is a placebo. Yes? Now what is that? That is nothing in a capsule, or sugar in a capsule, or just something so that the doctor can activate your belief in the power of the doctor and the medicine to heal you. And it activates your mind to be able to heal itself. So, believe it or not, you can go and look this up for those who have never heard of it. PLACEBO. the placebo effect, it accounts for over 1/3 of all medicine that is given to us. One of the most popular antidepressants, and I really don't want to say the wrong name. It's really powerful, really popular one, I think like Prozac or one of these really, really popular names is a placebo as well. So we say this and they work. So we say this to say that we, in our minds capacity, have tremendous healing power. And so we can activate that power without taking a pill or being tricked by our doctor. And
Yeah,
so
it reminds me of the magic spray in football.
the
Player get
magic
hurt on
spray
the
in
field and
football,
the coach run go out there with a spray and spray onto him and he's okay.
the only thing about the
And that
magic
has
spray,
nothing to do with that.
the only thing about the magic spray is that if you really play hard with the magic spray, you'll tear up yourself and don't realize.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Yes,
Because
yes,
nothing is there. Nothing is being
right,
sprayed. Yeah.
right. So placebo effect, the opposite of the placebo effect is the nocebo effect. So the placebo effect is where you believe something will help you and it helps you more. And the nocebo effect is where you believe something will harm you and it harms you more. So one simple example that I generally give is if you're on a journey and you stop at a corner shop and you ask for a bottle of water and they only have sodas and you say to yourself, oh my God, this is the worst thing I could drink right now. This is going to damage me in so many different ways. And you have a guilty conscience. Basically what you've done is you've sent yourself into fight or flight mode. And fight or flight mode physiologically is where your blood runs to your hands and your feet so that you can either fight or run away. That means your circulation is shut down, your digestion is shut down, etc. Now, if you put yourself in that state and then consume the soda, you are at greater risk to damage than if I step into that shop and I say, what you have around there for drink? You have water? No, I have soda. So water, no another soda there. Give me that soda, then I'm gonna get some nutrients. And for those who don't understand my vernacular, I'm saying, doesn't that soda have water in it? I will consume it and I will get nutrients from it. Give thanks. Yes, if that is what I have to consume. So the mindset is very, very important before we take on any healing practice whatsoever. And changing the way we think about what we think to be the worst things that could happen to a human being and happen to human beings is one beautiful way of really challenging this concept of the placebo perspective. Like, think about a woman who has been raped. Think about people who are dying over in Israel and Palestine. Think about the worst things that are happening in the world, and try to employ that placebo perspective through all of this. For example, let us just try to address one of them right now. Let us say it is a woman who has been raped. That could be something that enables her to gain such power, such experience, such authority to be able to help so many women once she gets her clearance from that process. And she may even just become an author and write an amazing book and never have to work a day in her life and speak once or twice and really do meaningful work, purposeful work all the days of her life. And that path would not have been given to her without her having to have gone through some struggle. No, it's not that we want particular type of experiences to happen to us, but these experiences, all of these challenges are our ways of growing. These are our initiation, right? In the West, we don't have an organized initiation ceremony at the age of 13 when boys and girls gather with the elders and receive plant medicine and tap into other realms. Instead, we get real challenges in the West and we have to go deep within, ball out to any source or creator we can to find support for the struggles that we have been going through as unnamed Black people, right? So back to what we're talking about now. That is the power of thinking, and we really have to employ a positive perspective if it is that we want self-healing to take place. Yes? Now, PIDA and Lodging, let me briefly tell you what this is. This is a set of self-healing exercises. Anybody can do them. They're not a medical practice. But if you practice them regularly, it will increase your flexibility. It will clean and clear your circulatory pathways, whether lymphatic or blood. And it will enable you to live a better quality of life and The Chinese do not acknowledge any disease by name. This practice in particular does not acknowledge any disease by name. The first rule of self-healing is to forget the name of the disease and not to forget the root cause, which are blockages. So all disease causing agents live in the blockages that are in your system. What are these blockages? You may think that your blood is red and beautiful running through your body. Every time you get a cut, it drops out and it looks brilliant red. But there is blood that cannot move through your body. There is blood that cannot come out when you get a cut because it is stuck to the inside of your vein walls, the inside of your capillary walls, your circulation and your microcirculation, your lymphatic vessels as well. Right? Now, PIDA, which I will explain shortly, is a patting or slapping action which can be extremely gentle, and once applied with consistency and love, can yield the same healing results as if it is done intensely. If it is done intensely, it will be effective in a faster time, right? But I'll explain that a little bit more. Both of you, if you're open, I'm going to invite to clear your heart meridians today here live on the show so that you can address the area of your body that the blockages there are responsible for headaches of all kinds. It's responsible for the buildup of those blockages will create heart attack or strokes. And so it's responsible for heart health. We're going to be working on the heart meridian, right? The heart meridian is where people hold their stress. So even if you're in the best of health, you definitely will have some blockages on the heart channel if you have never done a practice like this before. It is also the first place that we work if it is that we are doing full body clearance, which is what we teach and share. It is considered the heart to be the king of all the organs, as it is not just considered an organ, but also a generator of feeling. And the closeness of the heart is considered to be one of the greatest causes of disease. And an opening of the heart is actually one of the side effects of doing this work. All right. So PIDA is patting or slapping. La Jin is stretching. La means stretching. Jin means ligament and tendon. Right. Now the Chinese say stretch the ligaments and tendons by 1 inch and extend life by 10 years. Yes. They will assess your inflexibilities, your inability to squat, for example, down to the ground till your buttocks touches your heels, and look at that as an indication of blockages in your kidney channels, your liver channels, your spleen channels, right? So the most ancient self-healing posture known to man is called squatting, which you're all familiar with, the pooping position, yes? And in this position, if you can't get into this position, as we're saying, to your kidney, liver, spleen are blocked. What are the importance of the kidney, liver, spleen? The kidney, liver, and spleen are connected to your lifespan, are connected to your sexual and reproductive health. Also, they're connected to the retention of negative emotions. The kidney contains and retains fear. The liver retains anger. The spleen retains worry. So while you are doing this cleansing, you may feel these different emotions start to arise in you. And this is actually a part of the purging. Every single thing that has ever happened to you by way of disease or negative thinking or physical trauma or chemical trauma left a mark of blockage in your body. It created a coagulation. If you are frightened, if someone walks into the studio where you are recording from right now and points a gun at your head, God forbid, the physiological reaction that will happen in your body is one of contraction, not one of expansion. And just that sudden jerk will create some physiological blockages that, until cleared, will remain in your body. So even if you have cleaned your body through these techniques, you must also be aware that you are living a lifestyle, and day to day we are influenced by different energies and different people and different interactions, and we have to continue to clean our bodies if we want to live our best quality of life. So lodging is very simple, and so too is PIDA. It's extremely easy to learn. Master Hong Shizhou, an acupressurist and acupuncturist from China, is the person who first shared this with the West. He knew that the original practices in his culture were ones people used to do for themselves, and so he went on a journey exploring with a list of criteria. He wanted to find something that people could do for themselves. He wanted to find something that could surpass language barriers, that could be shared within 5 minutes. He wanted something that could be comprehensive, either as comprehensive as Western medicine or more effective. He wanted something that could be not just comprehensive, but he wanted something that could also address physical blockages, mental blockages, emotional blockages. And there are a number of other criteria. He found 2 different practices. One was called Paisa, and one was called Lajin. Paisa was patting or slapping based, and it was completely holistic. Lajin was stretching based and completely holistic. He combined them both together, and today it's called PIDA Lajin. Now, a few more Lajin I will share about. So Lajin that you can sleep in, for example. Lying on a hard surface, a floor, with no pillow, flat on your back, for most people will bring some level of discomfort. Before I tell you about that, let me tell you about pain. So this practice is called pain medicine. The reason it's called pain medicine is because pain is actually a medicine. Pain shows us where we have our blockages. Pain is our guide, yes? And if you've ever done acupressure or reflexology, and even if you haven't, I will describe it. The practitioner will take their thumb and they will place it on your hand or your foot, and they will do a finger roll, pressing deep into the hand and then inching forward slightly and pressing deep into the hand as well. Again and again, going through the entire hand, looking for blockages. When there is a blockage, you will feel an extreme amount of pain. If you do it right now for yourself and you're pressing through, like between the thumb and the index finger, just pressing deeply into different parts of the hand, you will find spots where you will jump in pain, not realizing that there is dormant pain lying in your body, yes? And so this practice is the practice of going through the entire body in a specific way, cleaning out all of these dormant pains so that you can live your best quality of life. The dormant pains are the blockages, and when we're doing the techniques, they hurt. Where you have more pain when applying the technique, you have more blockage. Where you have less pain, you have less blockage. As the blockage continues to clear, the pain will go away. But this pain will be your first lesson in learning how to detect blockages in your body, which is a powerful lesson. The lessons that this practice teaches, you cannot learn as a recipient of other treatments such as acupressure, acupuncture, etc. You cannot go home and do any homework when you're receiving those treatments. You would have to go and study in those schools for over a year to really have an understanding of the full meridian body and how and what to do. With the practice PIDA Lajin, however, without a full understanding of your meridian body, where your stomach channel line runs, or where your kidney runs, or where anything runs, you are taught how to clean your entire body. And one of the things that people need to be very aware of is the concept of healing reactions. Now, healing reactions are something sought after by all of the Eastern practices. They are great signs of detoxification and healing that occur when blockages are being cleared. And how it works is that if you, for example, used to get sick a lot, used to get a cold a lot, had pneumonia, that kind of thing, you may do some clearance, and tomorrow morning you may wake up feeling like you're getting a cold. This is because when you are doing the clearance, the symptoms of the issues that had caused it in the first place will start to show their face. If you have a more dramatic medical history, for example, you used to faint, or you used to have seizures, or you used to have something that is more intense, we also expect for this to happen when you are going through your clearance. Yes, and it is a great sign of detoxification and healing. So we welcome these reactions, which are healing reactions. Yes. All of the practices are coaxing these blockages out, and these reactions are expected from all of the practices that you're going through, whether it be yoga. It can be something as simple as massage. It can be something as simple as exercise. You can go for a run and end up vomiting a really detoxifying vomit. But this particular practice is said to be the most effective method of clearing these blockages. And it becomes evident when you're practicing it that whereas if you went to the acupressurist or acupuncturist, and all respect to him, right? But if you went to him and you had a headache and he helped you with it, probably he told you, I'm going to be doing some work on your heart meridian. Yes? But then, would you know if, based on what he had done, if your heart meridian was now clean, right? And if it wasn't clean, would he be able to give you something to go home to do that could help you to clean it? And would you be able to know when it is actually clean? So these are the things that we learn in this practice. Let me tell you a little bit more about PIDA now. Do you have any questions, both of you, by the way?
No, man, go ahead.
All right. So PIDA is patting or slapping. It is not a firm wrist like this. It is a completely relaxed wrist joint. And the arm simply moves up and down, causing the hand to just barely move at the end. And if I exaggerate the movement of the arm rather, the hand flashes backward and forward over the wrist joint, right? But I am not employing my wrist. I am not moving my wrist like this. This is very, very, very important, right? This is important not because of just the stamina that is required to do the work that you need to do, because it's the first time you're doing this work after all of these years of living life. Blockage will accumulate naturally, first starting in the knees, just because of the posture that we generally hold. Also in the lower back, because of the fact that we sit a lot as opposed to squatting. Let me demonstrate what your squat capacity should be like. Give me a second. See if I can set up this camera. All right. So you should be able. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, we're hearing you.
All right. You should be able, with your feet shoulder width apart, let me turn to the side, to squat all the way down to your feet. Jamaica is having quite a bit of weather. Have you been seeing the footage from Montego Bay?
No,
Any of you?
not yet, no.
The buses have been pushed over into the sea. Harmony Cove Beach is wrecked. I mean, Negril Beach has been wrecked. There's a whole heap of coastal weather happening right now.
Yeah.
So the wind just blew over the phone. Let me try and adjust this right so you can see me when I'm at the ground. So here, if you can't do this, you have some blockages, and what you can do to start clearing those blockages is to do this repeatedly each day. If you have no balance, hold on to something and get in the position. Your heels must remain flat on the ground all the way down. Right, so heels flat on the ground, buttocks all the way down, and sitting here. And right now I'm doing it shoulder width apart, which is what you're trying to do first. But when you want to really clear blockages even more, we can put our feet together, touch the feet, and same position again, coming down. And let me spin to show you. And we do what we call hugging the baby. So we hug these two legs together, right? And we drop our head forward and over. Let me spin again so you can see, right? Drop the head forward here and remain here for a minimum of 15 minutes if you're trying to clear. If you're trying to just diagnostically check if something is wrong, you're doing this for 3 to 5 minutes. Any pain that you feel, remember, pain is the guide. When you are in an aligned position, if you're feeling pain, it means you're experiencing blockages and clearance at the same time. Pyda cleans with a percussive vibration that causes the mesh-like skin of the vein to allow these things to push through just due to the patting action, right? Lagin cleans by a vibration as well, but the vibration of a stringed instrument. So the strings, the channels in the body are being pulled taut, and that creates a sort of vibration as well that helps life force energy to flow better through the body. Wherever it encounters blockages, there will be pain as the energy slams into these blocked areas. So it is extremely painful where you are blocked. So don't be discouraged if you go down for 30 minutes, 30 seconds right now, and you're like, oh my God, and you're holding on to something and you're still dying. Don't worry about that. That's actually something you must give thanks for, because you have this great power of guidance to take you through this dark time. So you're going to hold on to something. If you have to put your feet apart first and even wider at first, do that. Come right down, hold on to something, and start training yourself into a minimum of 3 to 5 minutes if you can, and try increasing in each day until you get to 15 minutes. Eventually, you'll be able to do it without holding on. You'll be able to squeeze the hands together, squeeze the legs together, drop the head forward. This improves many sub-health conditions, right? Another lodging. We talked about lying flat on the back, and if you feel any discomfort when you're lying flat on the back, all of that is pain that is telling you where you have your blockages. You need to lie there and you need to breathe into that pain and allow it to leave your body, right? You'll realize that you can do it for longer and longer periods of time. It is a natural form of body setting. It helps to align the spine, align the whole body while you sleep. If it is that you have any injuries or pains in your body and you're sleeping incorrectly, you're only damaging them even more. So your go-to position is lying flat on your back on your bed when you're going to bed at night. If you're going to roll to your side, you do not roll to the right because it will upset the stomach and cause heartburn. And so you roll to your left as your go-to position with a small pillow underneath your head to align your spine and keep it straight, and also with a small pillow between your knees to ensure that you're not giving yourself unintentional acupressure between the knees all night. That space between the knees is the kidney, liver, and spleen. So you don't want to be having those knee bones pressing into each other, right? So it is really just some lifestyle changes, very simple. You're squatting every day now, you're doing things lower now. You may want to cut up some seasoning or some vegetables, and you set up your little station on the ground with some, something spread, and you do your work low now. You also start to use a stool in the bathroom, which even outside of Pyda Lodging is a worldwide trend right now, where you put a stool right in front of you as you're using the bathroom and put both feet up on it, which simulates that squat position. If you go to Japan and cultures like those, the bathrooms in those cultures is a hole in the ground almost. Yes, you go and you have to squat all the way down to use the bathroom. If you look that up on the internet, you will see it right now today. If you take a trip to a place like that, you will find yourself squatting all the way down to use the bathroom. So this is the healthiest position, because without that, you're holding back a lot of fecal matter in the intestinal tract. And of course, we know that cannot be a positive accumulation. Now, there's another stretch which is directly for the kidney, liver, and spleen. I'm going to demonstrate it now. This is one that women in particular benefit from a lot when I share it with them, because women who have period pain should not have period pain. This gets rid of period pain. Also with the Pyda that is required to clear out the channels that are being stretched in this particular position. In this particular position, we go against the wall. I'm going to demonstrate right now. So We get our buttocks to the wall first, and then put our legs straight up. The first thing is the hands. So the legs are not yet in position. Are you hearing me clearly, by the way?
Yeah, we are.
All right. So you want to round up your shoulders, get them in alignment by pointing like this. By the way, this part with the hands, you can do it in your bed. This helps with your heart health, your lung health, your intestine health, because those channels are in your arms, which is just squaring up the shoulders like this, dropping the hands back while pointing your fingers actively in the opposite direction, like I'm pointing toward the camera. And what that does is, if I stop pointing, my hands will just go like this. That's not what we want. We want to point like this so that if there is any blockages or inflexibilities in the shoulder, we can allow them to just stretch out, right? So we keep it active by pointing. Then we drop one leg all the way to the ground, yes? And we stay here, make sure we're straight. We stay here for 15 minutes, right? If a woman does this and her leg is right here, she's in a lot of pain, no problem. Then keep the leg where it is and continue to do the work, right? Then back here, same thing, opposite side, 15 minutes. Then third position is assisted by gravity, right in the center, dropping as far down as you can, allowing the gravity to just pull down on your legs. Over time, your heels will slip down and further on the wall, right? Between these three positions, if any woman is going through any kind of painful period, emotional discomfort, etc., associated with that, it will be clear. The symptoms of it will be clear. However, the blockages are still in these channels that are being stretched. Right now, we are stretching dirty channels, blocked channels. And so the only way to really clear these channels that are affecting those kind of symptoms is also in the right order, as I will teach, to clear the four main areas of the body, and then she can start working on these areas, slapping right here to clean out this area. Now, there is also a central stretch. There's also a central stretch that does not require, rather that requires a piece of equipment called a Lagin bench. We encourage persons, by the way, to go to my Instagram page, Paida Lagin Secrets JA, PAIDA Secrets JA. You'll see lots of images of these benches. You can also type in Lagin bench, LAJIN bench on the internet, and you should be able to see images randomly on Google of what this looks like. So I don't have my Lagin bench right here with me, but I'll tell you what the benefit of that stretch is. It is a position in which, whereas we have stretches for the neck, we have stretches for the kidney, liver, spleen, we have stretches for different aspects of the body. When you are lying on the Lagin bench or in that position, and you can achieve the position without a bench as well, every single channel connected to every single organ in your body is being stretched at once to different extents. So in essence, that bench can be used to self-heal from every disease known to man. So whether you're having a headache, or you're suffering from fibroids, or whether you're having cancer, or you're having a bad knee from an old football game, whatever it is, you can self-heal by cleaning your internal systems, awakening your innate self-healing capacity, and allowing the body to do its thing. Because even things that you are not targeting to heal from, you will be healing from once you are doing this full body clearance process. Yes, gray hair grows back again from the root, balding stops and slows and reverses. Those things come from blockages literally in the head. Some traditional Chinese medicine practitioners say that it comes from too much thinking, etc. So you have miraculous capacity. It is absolutely amazing. I want us to try Paida now. Are both of you open to trying Paida?
Definitely I am. Remember, I listened to your teacher once on a Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was very interesting. and I did some of the stuff that he was doing and all of that. But I
Okay.
promised to get back, but I didn't. I lost the link. So please
Okay.
send me that link again.
Yeah, man, I
whenever
will.
you can.
I will. Flavius,
What
would you like to
what I
try?
yeah, no, what I would suggest, because of the time that is left, that we do a second show where you could start with that, so we get more out of it. I don't think we have enough time now to complete that.
All right. That's your decision to make. No problem.
Yeah.
We can do it for a minute just for you to get an understanding
Sure.
of what is
No
happening.
problem. Yeah, no problem.
You're not going to see. All right. So let me tell you what happens. You ever heard of cupping?
No.
Cupping is a treatment that people are doing where they put glass cups on the back and they have a suction in the cup and it pulls stuff out of the body.
Okay,
You've never
no,
seen
no,
an image of people
I've
with
seen it,
glass
yeah.
cups on their back?
no.
Okay, so basically that black stuff that comes up in the glass cup is something that the Chinese call sha. These are the blockages, the poisoned blood, the polluted blood that are sitting inside of the veins, right? So how this process works is that as we pat on our skin, as we slap on our skin, the veins are going to squeeze this stuff through and it's literally going to come into what we call the interstitial fluid, which is outside of the veins, but in visibility through the skin. So it will appear to the uneducated eye to be a bruise. The way how we know that it's not a bruise is that we continue to apply the technique in the area until it looks as if you had never touched yourself to begin with. So this stuff has no place in your body, should never have been there. And a typical bruise cannot be eradicated by slapping on it. Yes, that is the bursting of blood vessels, which needs time to heal. So when you slap on your left inner elbow, if you can just pull up your sleeve right now, both of you, pull up your sleeve so that you can access your left inner elbow. And we're talking about right here, right in the crook, right in this line. You're putting your palm, the center of your palm, on your left inner elbow. And I want you to have a very floppy, bouncy wrist like this. We don't have a culture where we flop our wrist like that, but we need to relax the wrist in order to get the stuff out. Yeah. So we're gonna slap like this with a steady rhythm, and we're going to breathe while we do so. So we inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 slaps of one inhale, and then the same amount of time of exhalation through the nose. Your nose has receptors for nitrous oxide, otherwise called happy gas, and your mouth doesn't have those receptors. So all the time in your life, you need to be breathing through your nose, right? So you're breathing through the nose and you're slapping. Can both of you detect any stinging at all when you slap on your left inner elbow like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so everywhere that you feel the sting, that is a blockage. That is coagulated blood. And if you continue the technique and if you relax your wrist more and allow it to flick back and forward, and if you get your intensity not from hitting down, but from lifting and allowing gravity more space, just allowing gravity more space to allow the hand to fall and to drop. If you do that, relaxing the wrist, you'll feel it sting some more. And as it stings, it's actually pushing the stuff through. And before you know it, you will see some marks coming up on your hand. Don't be discouraged. Keep working, and the marks may even get deeper and darker before they start to change color and go away. Now, it is not that they're getting deeper or darker. It is that you have different quality of blood in your body, and it may show up as the color of blood. It may show up blue, it may show up purple, it may show up black, it may show up black with white sand in it. Black with white sand in it is the most severe toxicity of polluted blood. And in Jamaica, when people say somebody obia them and them get a bad foot, if you look at those really bad feet, you will see black and some little white stuff in the black stuff. I don't know if any of you have ever seen up close one of these people who are complaining about being obvious with a bad foot. But the circulation issues really that affect the legs, they tend to look that way. So yeah, that is the process. in basic that you just started to experience. All those
Okay.
stinging pains would be extricated from the body by the time you're finished, as well as the blockages that are behind them. And then you would also engage in daily stretching to open back up these channels, re-straighten them, and allow your energy to flow better. And that alone will change your life in dramatic ways. Regarding diet and regarding nutrition, the spleen, many of us do not know the purpose of our spleen. Our spleen is a transmutated organ that helps with redirecting the nutrients that come from the stomach to every single organ in our body. It converts food and drink to blood and chi. Chinese speak about chi as being the life force energy. So once again, the spleen converts food and drink into blood and life force energy. It is very important. We know nothing about it. So how on earth are we taking care of it? How do we take care of our spleen? And how do we take care of our kidneys? Right? Now, the spleen we take care of by being very careful about our diet, our food, and our water, right? Now, they talk to us so much about water in our culture. They tell us that we must drink water so that we never get thirsty, and that is not healthy. You have an instinct for thirst, and that is what should be used to drink water. And you need to be connected intuitively to how you consume so that you know when your thirst has been quenched, right? Now, if you instead go with a huge bottle of water to work every day and you say, hey, I have to finish this off by 4 o'clock this evening, and at 4 o'clock you have 3/4 of the bottle left, and you decide, boy, I'm going to guzzle this to make up for time, you are giving your kidney a lot of extra work to convert that water into urine when it already has enough water in the system. And so that will eventually, as you grow older, cause degradation of these kidney channels. And then you'll end up in a space where you are actually drinking water and you cannot quench your thirst because the body cannot absorb water. And or you're drinking water and your body is holding water, so you start to swell up and get different types of conditions as well. So both food and water we require fasting from. It is our natural rhythm. If you were in the jungle and you went on a hunt, you had to go hunting for days, you brought this thing back, you shared it with the village, and then you went on a hunt again. When you are hunting, you're not eating, generally speaking, not a heavy diet, yes, if anything at all. And so the body is made for consumption and then detoxification. In the process, when you are not eating, you give your digestion a chance to shut down so that the immune system can focus not just on the poisons that you're putting into your digestive tract, but on the effects it's been having in other parts of the body. So fasting is also a complementary activity that we definitely recommend. Fasting has been shown to help people with cancer to clear cancer completely without chemotherapy. As the alien stuff in your body dies off before your actual cells begin to die off. But this is a strong partner of Pidolagin. And when people are doing full body clearance, we recommend that in as much as they can embrace that process, that they should embrace fasting. Now, let me also say this for those who are scared of fasting. Your ability to fast will increase dramatically while you are doing this kind of clearance. The toxins that are coming out of your body, some of it is complete waste and some of it is converted into energy. And therefore, you will literally be internally fed by the process of cleaning these blockages out of your body. You will not be as thirsty as well, because due to the channels in your body being clean, you will actually start to be able to absorb moisture through the air. We are doing circular nasal breathing, which helps us to retain moisture while we are doing this practice. And it's incredible. You can fast for an incredible amount of time while you're actually doing your clearance. Now, it's not something that we force people into, so you can do it at any stage that you feel comfortable. But you can fast with your doctor's approval, given your condition, for 3 to 5 days at any point that you so choose. And this is something that we recommend as something that people do every 3 months if it is that they want to maintain optimal health conditions. So even outside of the patting technique, which we'll get into perhaps at a further episode, and the stretching with the bench, which we do daily, which we'll get into as well. Fasting is also a very, very important part of our healthy lifestyle. We also teach something called jogging meditation, which is literally meditation in action while you are jogging. And I like to teach this to persons on an incline, one that they will select as being something daunting, something that they think they wouldn't be able to get across without losing their breath or wouldn't be able to get across at all. And with the correct technique, we do not train for many days and build muscle in order to do this. We simply learn to breathe correctly, diaphragmatic breathing. We then sync that breath with the footsteps of the jog, yes, whatever that rhythm is. And then we find our pace. Our pace is the place where the fuel, which is the breath, can provide for all of the action which we are doing. So if we're ever getting tired, we're either doing too much action or we are not breathing to our full capacity. And in that pace, somebody who is walking aggressively may even walk past you going up that mountain. You know, like a big step kind of walker can walk past you, right? So it is an ego dissolving practice where someone who thinks they'd never be able to get up and over this mountain, Skyline Drive, I'm not sure if you remember these mountains in Jamaica that I have taken people across who are over 65 and 70 years old who said they would never think of jogging these mountains. There's one named Mountain Spring, which people work out on. A lady told me that she has 4 rest stops. She walks it. Her friends always complain about how long she takes at her rest stops. And the first day I took her to that place, we jogged from the bottom of the hill to the top of the hill. She did not know where her rest stops were. The third instruction that we give outside of finding your pace is focus, whereby we don't allow you to look up or look to the left or look to the right, because you will be seeing how the road is unfolding before you. You'll be seeing that corner coming up ahead and that steep part, and your whole psyche will be affected by it. And it's a lesson in life that we must only focus on one footstep at a time. And so we have them look literally down at the feet and stay in the breath and stay in the meditation. When they do so, something is experienced called running into the eye of the storm. And in that space, I mean, I guess other people would call it the runner's high, but it is far more intentional in this space. And people literally don't know what happened until they stop running. She literally did not know where the 4 rest stops were, don't know where time went, don't know how long this took, don't know what happened. And also feeling completely relaxed, having all of her breath, feeling like she could do 3 more mountains like this one right away. Now, this is in all of our capacity. We would call it superhuman, or we would call it, incredible, miraculous, all of these things. But really, we were really designed in a really incredible way. And I want to just encourage everyone out there who believes that they have to move from nothing to something, or they have to make something of themselves, or they have to prove to the world that they are valid. You are valid by your design. You are divine by design, where your greatest achievement will never be greater than the achievement of any one cell in your body. Yes, and this is really, really supported from creation, that we are so endowed, so healthily endowed, with self-healing capacity. This is all I use my life for now. I, as I say, have lived many lives, have had many professions, have lots of different types of experience, but I go wherever I'm most needed. I teach full body clearance. Most recently, a lady in Dubai who I've never met personally, I taught across the internet, which I do most frequently these days. And this is something that is very easy to learn across the internet. It's not complicated. And so guided her through the process because she had some cysts in her breasts, and she has now received a full clean bill of health. So we're very, very happy about that. She sent me both of the doctor's reports. I'm going to be sharing those results shortly. But just to mention that it also has a great effect on body sculpting. So women who are overweight and even underweight, it helps to bring balance in the body so that you come to your true form. Sorry, getting a call there. And it helps you to come to your true form, and it helps to clear cellulite, it helps to clear stretch marks, it helps to get rid of spider veins, varicose veins. All of these things are blockages that are pushing up to the surface without any technique at all. And so not only is that line that is visible blocked, but also the areas surrounding it will be blocked as well. So yeah, we have a lot of capacity to heal ourselves. Acne in the face is not just acne in the face. The eyes are the liver, the nose is the lungs, the mouth is the stomach and the intestines, the ears are the kidneys. As you see, you have two ears and they're shaped like kidneys. So when you're having bumps all over your face, it's really deep organ blockages that are manifesting, and we definitely can clean all of these things by cleaning the lines. Essentially, if a river or a gully is blocked, how do you clean it? Do you clean it by putting in food and nutrients? No, you clean it by dredging it. And then if you wanted to add some positive things to the stream, you could also add that, and the earth will be able to absorb it. But nothing is getting to the earth if it is that you are just tossing stuff into a blocked drain or a blocked gully. So for all of you out there who are seeking a healthier, cleaner life, before you switch your diet and decide to go full bungee, you have to remember that you can also feed diseases into becoming. You can feed nutrients into your blocked areas of your body and create more damage. So the best form of nutrition through this practice is clean channels. So we clean the channels, we fast a little bit, give the body a little time to recover, reset, and then we embrace mostly plant-based lifestyle full of cereals and wild grains. And yeah, we continue to move forward. We soak our feet every night. If you're living in cold countries, my brothers, you need to be very, very careful of the temperature. You need to make sure you're staying warm. In Tibet, hell is perceived to be a cold place, right? Because they understand it's coagulating power, it's contracting power. And so we need to soak our feet in warm water every evening. When we're doing full body clearance, there's a way to do it to ensure that the healing reactions are reduced and controlled. And the way to do that is to clear the 4 main areas of the body before you move through anything else. And those 4 main areas are the elbows. Elbow has 3 sides, which is the heart, and then the inside here, which is the lungs, and the outside, which is the small intestines. And then the knees, which have 4 parts. As I sit on top of the knees, both hands. Then the inside of the knees, both hands you could use at the same time. Then the outside of the knees. Then the back of the knees, right? Around here. So that's the 4 sides of the knee, and anybody who has any kind of injury. Courtney, both of you, you need to sit and go through your knees, clear your knees. As an experiment, even until we talk again. Clear your knees and see the benefit you'll end up. Once you do it until the sha comes up. Once you see that bad blood start coming up, you continue to do that, clear out the area until it starts to look like it's going away. When you see the bad blood start to speckle up and break up and go away, you can actually stop and leave it and allow the lymphatic system to finish that. You don't have to keep doing it until the skin is clear, if you don't mind. And you will definitely see and feel a tremendous improvement in the knees. They'll feel, in most cases, better than before you even started to have that issue. So thank you very much.
Wonderful, wonderful, yes, wonderful.
Yeah,
Courtney?
Yes, we thank you. We thank you very much, Kindred.
Yeah,
And
man.
we definitely know that we have to have a second show.
All right,
to
definitely.
talk about this self-healing process.
And you know, the call I just missed a while ago was from TVJ, who I'm expecting to get a date from, to be going on Smile Jamaica and potentially daytime live as well.
Yeah.
In the next couple of days.
Wonderful.
So I'm gonna find out about that, and I'll let you guys know as well. You can share it with your viewers when we'll be on that platform as
Definitely.
well. All right.
I think this is really incredible. Really, really incredible. I'm very
Yes, my
interested.
brother, it truly is, and
Very-
it is our capacity. That is the amazing thing about this, is that
Yes.
it's not me, a healer man that you meet that have more power than you who can, you
Yeah.
know,
Mhm.
this is you, and if you go through the process for yourself, you will know for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and guys, don't be worrying about the messenger in life. Just try to experiment with messages for yourself
Oh yes.
that seem
Yes.
relevant to you.
Mhm.
Because no matter what form you come in or what appearance you come in, there will always be someone that you don't appeal to, you know.
Oh
So
yes. Yeah.
if you're open, I say to people, don't believe anything I have to say. If you're open, try. Let me also tell you
Yeah.
one other thing that we consume regularly. We consume warm regularly. So even if we're eating fruits and vegetables, it has to be warm. We don't cut up a cold vegetable salad and eat that. That creates blockages, right? Because
Okay.
vegetables and fruit are cool and cold in nature. In TCM, in traditional Chinese medicine, you have cool and cold foods, you have warm and hot foods. Ginger, for example, is a hot food. Yeah. So balanced food has some cool and some hot, some yin and some yang. So the beverage that we recommend while people are doing this work is date and ginger soup. Red Chinese dates with ginger sliced up, boiled for 30 minutes until it's a little bit thick, and we consume that. If it is that you don't have that, just hot water will do. So if you're doing the work, for example, you're slapping on your heart meridian and you start to feel dizzy or you start to feel nauseous, because any kind of bad feeling per se can be attached to the process as a healing reaction. And so all you need to do is take a break, sip a little bit of your hot water. As soon as you start,
You lead us to full. You belong far away away. Ajugwala lebobu seru. Lida mua, lida sungfula. Lida mua, lida sungfula.
Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.
All you gotta do is just speak. One word is enough, and I'm no longer so rough. I forget what I was trying to say. I no longer do what I was gonna do, but you're no good for me. That's why me do what set me I think of flee. Me I fi take away me say. Me I fi take away me say. Me I fi highlight.